Hey guys, it's unemployed Zoomer here. Um, I was going on Twitter or whatever they call it now, X, or I was looking at people's excretions, I guess you could call it. Um, and all over Twitter, you've got people posting about this. Um, it seems um, states now are going to be pushing for lower minimum wage. It's happening, guys. It's finally happening. We're not going to be getting raised minimum wage. They're going to lower it. I think in some of my older videos, I talked about this and I said, as a joke, they're probably going to lower the minimum wage before they raise it. Well, I think we're here. I think it started. And well, you already know what party's pushing it. The GOP, of course. They're in charge, and I'm sure the Tangerine Terror he will sign off on it. Um, and this just goes to show things are not going to get better. Um, they're just not. They're starting off at they say for minors. Um, you know, that's for now, of course, but that's not how it's going to stay. I'm predicting by the end of the decade, they'll get rid of the minimum wage entirely. I mean, look at the way things are going. The minimum wage has not been increased in 2 decades. I mean, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do? If you're in the state I live in and you're making $11 an hour, you're not even making $15,000 a year. How are you going to? My state's got a $7.25 an hour minimum wage. I and that's what people are making, about $11 to $15 an hour on average. I think last I saw it said the median's around 15.50 an hour. So they always say like household income 70 grand, but that's two people working. If you're living by yourself, you're screwed. $11 an hour is not going to pay the bills. And well, I was driving today, and I saw a bunch of unhoused people. They're everywhere. The homeless are everywhere. They're wandering. Um, they have backpacks. It's usually they look dirty. They're tired, look gross, and they have their backpacks. That's usually a dead giveaway. Um, they have backpacks. They're kind of walking where they shouldn't be. That's usually another tell sign. Because if you have a car and you live in the suburbs, you're not going to be walking on the side of the road. That's not what you do. You will be at the park. If you're going outside, you'll be at the park. You'll be on the sidewalk. My town doesn't do sidewalks. We don't have that here. You will be walking in a ditch. That is what you will do if you're homeless. You're going to wander. You have nowhere to go. It's cold. And if you're caught camping, you will be spending time on a concrete slab in shackles. They will arrest you. You don't get to be homeless here. And they just said, we're going to lower the minimum wage. So you will stay poor. I mean, come on. Like, what are you even supposed to do? You can't get a job. There are no jobs. The jobs you do get, they don't pay. So, what are you supposed to do? I mean, imagine being on $11 an hour because that's what the jobs pay here. $12 an hour, and you get an apartment for $900 a month, $1,000 a month, let's say. Okay. Would so you have to work over 100 hours after tax? That's 3 weeks. Remember, this is a minimum wage job, so you're not getting full-time hours. They're not going to give you 70 hours a week. That's not how this is going to work. You will need 3 jobs. And that boss is not going to let you do that, though. They're going to need dedication. And you're not going to have the ability to get it because you don't have a vehicle because you make $11 an hour. So you're walking to your three jobs that you can't juggle to pay your $1,000 a month rent, your $300 electric bill, your $300 in food because your job will not feed you. You need three, maybe four jobs. On if you're making $11 an hour, it's a possibility. If they're full time, which they're not. If they were, you maybe need two of them. If you're part time, you might need four jobs, and you're selling plasma on the side, and you might be selling something else when the lights go out. Okay. I don't know what we could even do. I thought about this one day. I was driving. I was um, stuck at a red light, and I kind of reflected back to the time I worked at a, we'll just call it work camp, and my other, I guess, cellmates, you'd call them, they they weren't making it, and I remember one came to work, and I looked at him, and he wore the same clothes maybe for 2 weeks in a row. I knew he was coming before he rounded the corner because I smelled him. He had a pungent odor. And later I found out he lived there in the parking lot. He had a uh I don't even know if the car ran. I honestly don't think it did. It he stayed in his vehicle. That's where he lived. That was his home. Um I don't think the vehicle even worked. So I don't think he could move it if he wanted to. But yeah, I found that out with talking to him one day. He said the paychecks, we were making around $200 to $400 a week. The hours varied greatly um, at that work camp, and they didn't really care because you're not getting full time hours. And even if we did, the pay is so low. Um, you know, you've got these job creators that say, well, if you don't like the pay, you could start your own business. And on $11 an hour, are you going to start your own business? Because how is that guy going to start his own business? He was in his car, and he wasn't some burnout drug addict. No, he was young. He was around my age, and he was a Zoomer. He was, you got me, unemployed Zoomer. He's homeless Zoomer. If he made a YouTube channel, it would be homeless Zoomer. But I don't think he's got internet or a phone for that matter. And honestly, I haven't seen him at that work camp. I went by there one day. I don't know where he is. We could just hope he's okay. That's about it. Because a lot of people um, that I've encountered are gone. I don't know where they are. I go out a lot, and I go back to the other work camps I worked at, and they're not there anymore. And I don't see them. And I go into a lot of play, and I haven't heard from them. A lot of these people um, at my current work camp, the people who they let go, they go missing. Their phone numbers turn off. You don't hear from them. Um, they go off grid, and I think it's because if they go homeless, they go to the car. You have to go to the car. When you get fired, you will not get another job in time to pay the bills. You're already behind on bills. You're not going to have that grace period. Once that eviction notice is on your door, you have 9 days. You will get out. You will be out on the street. Armed men will come in there and take you away. If you resist, you will be put out on the street with all of your things if you haven't sold them already. Okay. In conclusion, I think our situation is about to get a lot worse. I don't have a good update for you guys. I don't. They're about to lower wages at a time where inflation, cost of living, um, I mean, just everything, healthcare. Yeah, right. I haven't had healthcare my whole life. The prices that are skyrocketing. They're saying, okay, we're about to up the difficulty. They're about to put this game on expert. We're about to be playing on professional. And I don't think a lot of people are going to make it because if you've got, 20% of the population homeless or halfway homeless where they're crashing on someone's couch or some weird arrangement, what's going to happen when they lower the minimum wage to $3 an hour? What's going to happen when your average person's bringing in 5, 6, 7 grand a year? What are you going to do? Because most of the people I worked with at that work camp, when it was time to file taxes and we all compared our puny, our W-2s when they came in, we looked at it. It's like when you go to the bathroom and you look down and you're like, yikes, is it cold in here or something? And we looked and we compared, and those were not numbers you wanted to compare. Um, some people made 3, 4 grand that year. That's for the whole year. That's a year's worth of work. That's what you should be making every couple weeks, not a year. I think mine said I made, let's see, 7 grand maybe for a whole year of work. A whole year. You're not paying rent on that. Rent is $12,000 a year. How are you going to survive? That's the neat part. You're not.